Shellshock presents.
Ready?
Sharing with Shellshock Season 4. New Age of Heroes. And welcome to another episode of Sharing with Shellshock. I am your host, ShellshockPrime, and this right here is episode 79, The World of Square Enix, and we are going to be talking a lot about Square Enix tonight. Joining me tonight are two returning guests and two new guests. So, to start things off, Bookslap, welcome back.
Hi, great to be back. I'm excited to be here.
It's good to have you back on again, and we got DragonLordAzure, or Durgan. Is that how you want me to call you?
People have called me Durgan, Azure. They've called me anything. Durgan is what I normally end up answering by.
Yeah, Durgan. I'll keep that in mind. But anyway, welcome.
Thank you.
And we got Rodzilla. Welcome.
Well,
And we also got McPatches 3D. Welcome back.
Hi.
It's good to all have you here. We're going to talk a lot about Square Enix in just a little bit, but first and foremost, before we get started, Bookslap, what type of content you do?
I do a lot of streaming on Twitch and different variety streams, some challenge runs. I just did some Resident Evil damage list runs, also a lot of achievement hunting, that kind of stuff. We like to keep it light, friendly, social.
That's good. What about you, Durgan?
I mainly do a little bit of more variety from time to time, but mainly specializing in RPG.
You cut off for a second. What you said?
Mainly specializing in RPGs.
All right. Rod?
Let's play RPGs. Right now I'm stuck in World of Warcraft Remix, the Legion. I also play Final Fantasy 14. I just finished the Digimon game that came out last month. It only took me 35 hours.
Oh, nice. Patches?
Retro variety primarily. I have been playing spooky games for October. We just beat Silent Hill F. Look Outside. I'm in the middle of Alien Isolation. After that, I'm going back to RPGs. I'm playing Star Ocean 2 HD.
Ooh, good one.
First time. I've owned the original for a while, but yeah. Speaking of Square.
Yeah. Square gets around a lot. So Square has been around, or at least, okay, so there used to be two companies. We had Square, or Squaresoft. They were originally founded in 1986. And then you had Enix, who's been around since 1975. Square created the Final Fantasy series. Enix created Dragon Quest. But there's been other RPGs, other series that both companies have made before they merged into Square Enix in 2003. The merger was supposed to happen 2 years earlier, but then Final Fantasy: The Spirits Within happened. And that delayed,
It happened to all of us.
that delayed the merger for 2 years. And then the merger happened, and now Square Enix is one of the bigger third-party companies who releases games on pretty much everything. But first and foremost, I want to ask like a couple of questions to everybody here. We're going to start off with the first question. We'll start off with Bookslap for you. What was your first game from Square Enix, or when they merged with Square Enix?
The first game I ever played. So we're including like SquareSoft, Square.
Yes.
Okay.
Square and also Enix as well.
I guess technically it would be Parasite Eve actually.
Ooh.
Which was, yeah, right, a weird one. But growing up, I'm the youngest, and my older brothers, we'd all play games together. They weren't really into RPGs or anything like that. So, but they were into like spooky games and horror games and things like that. So the first RPG I ever played was Parasite Eve. And I can't imagine I played something from those companies before. I had heard of Final Fantasy. I'd never heard of Dragon Quest. So I guess it had to be. I guess it had to be PE. A really weird entry point into a genre. Actually,
Yeah, that's fair. Like, very good game to start with.
a great game. Still love it, but weird. Also, very odd to describe the plot.
Yeah. What about you, Durgan?
The first game I ever touched when it came to Square Enix or Squaresoft was Final Fantasy X on the PlayStation 2.
Nice.
Instantly fell in love with the game, and that has sparked me playing it multiple times across the years with a multitude of 100% runs and challenge runs. So I pretty much know that game inside and out, like it's the back of my hand at this point.
Yep.
And then that just kind of spawned me going through the rest of, Final Fantasy in general, slowly but surely getting through all of the games in that. And then I've started to dabble in some of the other more well-known game titles from Square Enix. So like Nier Automata. I did Dragon Quest XI a couple years back. So I'm getting through the rest of them slowly but surely.
That's a good way to do it. Absolutely. Rod, what was your first Square game?
So, Squaresoft, my first game was Final Fantasy VI. And for Enix, it was actually Soul Blazer.
Oh, Soul Blazer. Yeah, I remember that one.
I used to play that, like, come home from school, play it with my mom. It's like when I was at school, she played it and we both had our own save files.
Nice.
It was a nice classic game. It wasn't too scary or anything like that. It was just have a fun time.
Awesome. What about you, McPatches?
My first was Final Fantasy VII. I played it at a friend's house, and then I went and took all my birthday money, bought a PS1, Final Fantasy VII, and a memory card, and been hooked on RPGs since.
Let's see. So my first for Squaresoft, let's see. My first Squaresoft game that I've ever actually got a chance to play was actually Final Fantasy IX, believe it or not, on the PlayStation.
Good one.
My first Enix game that I remember playing was Dragon Warrior 1 and 2 on the Game Boy Color. And I used to play that. I got very far in Dragon Warrior 2 or Dragon Quest 2. And unfortunately, there was a big problem that I ran into. The battery in the Game Boy, sometimes the battery in the Game Boy Color games are finicky. So because of that, I lost my save file. Like, it was corrupted.
Oh,
It also
Yeah.
it also corrupted my Dragon Quest 1 save file. Like, it sucks that it happened, but because I've had that happen to me multiple times with Pokemon games and some other games on the Game Boy Color. Like, the battery is kind of finicky for backup. It got better with Game Boy Advance, but yeah, those were like my first games. But I have played demos of like Square games on PS1. Like, I remember playing Threads of Fate demo, where you had like these two characters. It's like an action RPG. And like the characters were Rue and Mint. I want to go back and actually finish that game at some point. And I remember like seeing an arcade machine for Guys, God Bless the Ring, but I didn't get a chance to play it. And the only reason I even knew about that game back then is because like it had Final Fantasy VII characters in it. Which obviously, if you're gonna put Final Fantasy VII characters in it, like, you're gonna get people's attention. But yeah,
100%.
but those were my first games. I've started with I had my start with Final Fantasy IX, and it's a great game. So the next one I'm going to ask you, Durgan, I'll ask you first. What were some of your favorite games from Square Enix? Durgan?
You're kind of putting me on the spot on that one.
Yeah, usually whenever I ask a different question, I usually rotate with different people. But yeah.
So for me, my all-time favorite one, just without question, is 10. It's just the game that I resonated with a lot when I was younger.
Yeah.
But as I've gone through, and I've kind of gotten through like a lot more of the titles, the Kingdom Hearts series is also very good. I know that kind of links itself to Final Fantasy somewhat, but not completely. It's more, in my opinion, it's more linked to Disney than it is to Final Fantasy. And trying to think of some of the other ones. I actually need to see if this actually is a Square Enix game, because it's been a while since I've played this. It's just PlayStation, but I don't think that technically constitutes it being Sony. No, it was made by Genki.
Oh.
It's mainly just been. I mean, you could ask anyone that knows me personally. I can tell you the entire plot line of Kingdom Hearts without it making it seem very hard to understand.
Yeah.
Even though Kingdom Hearts is a very convoluted story.
It is.
It's probably one of the hardest stories to follow in video game history, in my opinion.
A story that you just want to say, calm down. Just relax. It's okay.
Right?
You don't have to put everything in.
Yeah. Yeah, Kingdom Hearts has a whole lot going for it, for sure.
To really understand Kingdom Hearts, like, unfortunately, I know a lot of people aren't going to like this, but in order to understand Kingdom Hearts, you literally have to play almost every single game in the series to understand everything. If you miss one entry, you miss out on plot.
I like to pull this off my shelf. I have it on hand because I pull this off on stream a lot and threaten to play all of them. when people start talking about Kingdom Hearts, I'm like, are we going to turn this into a Kingdom Hearts stream? Is that what we have to do? So, as you can see, it is still in the plastic. I have not had to follow through on that threat yet.
Yep.
Don't go down the rabbit hole. Don't go down the rabbit hole.
I've only played Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. I'm still safe.
Well,
Follow your heart.
No, I know that it's light.
all right. What about you, Rod? What are some of your favorite Square games, or Square Enix as well?
Okay, how much time we got?
Go right. Go on. Go right ahead.
So, I'm gonna start with Final Fantasy VI, Chrono Trigger, Super Mario RPG, Breath of Fire.
Well, Breath of Fire, yeah, that one I know Square published it here because Capcom was not like, they weren't experienced with RPGs, so they had to have them publish it here. But yeah, I'll count that too.
Yeah. Blazer, that was definitely a good one. Then Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, so on and so forth. A lot of things that actually I really enjoyed from most of the Final Fantasy were the mobile games.
Oh yeah, the mobile games.
That I will agree with.
Man, I miss Record Keeper.
Dude, Record Keeper was amazing.
I miss it.
Oh man, the new Dragon Quest game that's coming out, I got into the beta, and it was so fun for that like week that it was out, and I was like, went to do it again. I was like, no, it's locked.
Yeah,
that's mostly Final Fantasy, Chrono Trigger, Super Mario RPG, Kingdom Hearts. I can blame my husband for that one.
Yep.
Everybody has some Kingdom Hearts enabler.
So tell me about this person. He's like, oh, well, this person, blah, 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 and goes on for 20 minutes. I married the Kingdom Hearts Encyclopedia.
Excellent.
It's kind of a goal right there.
Absolutely. Mick Patches, what about you? Your favorites?
It's a big question.
It is.
I love Final Fantasy. Like, that's what got me into the genre. So Final Fantasy VII always has a special place in my heart, but my favorite in that series is generally, I feel like, 9. Like, I love all the games. One of my favorite games of all time is Chrono Trigger. I really loved Nier Automata. I like that. Just it has such a beautiful story when you actually play through all the endings. And it's not as bad as it sounds. Kingdom Hearts was huge. I was obsessed with Kingdom Hearts growing up. I've fallen off some after 3, but I still love Kingdom Hearts.
Yep.
I don't know. They're just, it's so good. I just love like so many of their games. I'll go with those because it's just such a long list.
Oh yeah.
Square has just published so many games, whether you want to call them Square Enix or Squaresoft. They have published so many games that it's almost impossible to really list their entire encyclopedia.
Yeah. Absolutely. Bookslap?
See, this is one of those questions where it's like, I don't want to just give the same answers that everybody else did. So I'll just say ditto, but then I'll also add, because I was thinking of it with a previous question. I guess technically my first Enix game I guess it was Enix at the time, would have been Dragon Warrior Monsters 1. So I'm going to throw that on the pile as the only game that ever rivaled my obsession with Pokemon as a kid. Like, studied the monster breeding tables, would sit with my friend in the 6th grade and like plan out what we were going to use, because we had one copy of the game that we like shared and passed back and forth. I later got a copy from a gate sale when I was living in Hoboken, and I was so excited to find it. I was like, yes, this is legitimately a treasure that I have found on the street. And played through the whole thing again, bred my way up to, throwing out boss monsters from the franchise to fight people's slimes. So just uninhibited love for that and that entire spin-off franchise. So yeah, those would be my answers. Ditto and Dragon Warrior Monsters.
All right. Oh man. So here's mine. Well, Final Fantasy VI is absolutely up there for me. Say 7, 9. I absolutely think Chrono Trigger is probably like one of the greatest, if not the greatest RPG. Seriously. Like, just everything about Chrono Trigger is so good. Like, the music, the characters, just the whole time travel aspect, where you be able to travel in the different time periods, meeting all these characters and integrating them, like, together. And also the art style, because I'm a huge fan of Akira Toriyama, so that works out for me. And speaking of Akira Toriyama, there was also a fighting game series. I mean, also Dragon Quest. I enjoyed the Dragon Quest games, Dragon Quest 1, 2, and 3. Never got to finish 3, though, but I would like to go back to it someday. And 1 and 2 I never got to finish because the dreaded save file that I had, because the Game Boy Color battery was so bad that they need to fix it. Like, unfortunately, too late for that, but at least we got emulation. At least we got other versions, and we just got the 1 and 2 HD 2D like the other day. Just came out, so I'll be getting that. Also, there was this fighting game called Tobal #1 for the PlayStation, which Akira Toriyama did the artwork for that, and that game had a demo of Final Fantasy VII, which was an early version of that game before like it released months later on PlayStation. And that was a fun game. There was also the Octopath Traveler, like the first one. I haven't played the second one yet,
Oh, they're so good.
but the first one's amazing.
If you, I will say this, Shellshock, if you liked Octopath 1, Octopath 2 is going to blow you out of the water.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
It's
You will
so
explode.
good.
There's also the remake of Live Alive, which I love that game. I'll be talking more about that because there's a question in the community questions about that. I'll talk more about that later. But Live Alive is definitely up there. I love Nier Automata so much. What a game that was. Like, to me, like, it's basically my introduction to the series. I never got a chance to play any of the Drakengard games on the PS2, and I haven't had a chance to play the original Nier. I have since got it through retro collecting last year, but Nier Automata, I played it, I loved it, and it's worth the hype. It should have won some more awards back in 2017. The problem was it came out when there was way too much competition that year. So Nier Automata is fantastic. And if there's another game that I need to bring up that people should really like take a look at when it comes to Square Enix, I will say this. Dragon Quest IX is fantastic.
Oh my god.
I got that game on the DS.
is.
I loved it. And to me, like, the fact that you could actually make your own character and just go on an adventure with 3 other people is a lot of fun.
The
And
fact that you could join your friends in their adventure. You could have your character join their party and run around independently in their world. Did you know that you could do that?
yes. And
It's
they had
so much fun.
They had a mode in the game called tag mode where you could actually like get a bunch of maps from other people. And that was a precursor to the Nintendo 3DS having Street Pass, which is one of my favorite features of the 3DS. So Dragon Quest IX was really good. And this is going to shock a lot of people. And there are people within my community that want to fix this. But you wonder what... Because I asked people, like, what is the most important series they want to see me stream more than anything? And guess what it is? They want me
Dragon
to...
Quest.
They want me to do Kingdom Hearts. People...
I was
Yeah, like, I have people telling me I should do Kingdom Hearts. I've tried out a Kingdom Hearts game, and I sold it because it was not a good one. It's apparently... The one I tried out was the worst game in the series, and that is Recoded.
Oh,
Yeah, don't play Recoded.
yeah.
Yeah, the rest, yeah, none of the games are like that.
Yeah. So if I'm going to be starting off with Kingdom Hearts, I'm going to start it right from the very beginning, like with the first game. But people gonna tell me, no, play Birth by Sleep first. No, I'm playing Kingdom Hearts 1 first because
No, release order.
Yeah, release order is better because quality of life, and there's a lot of like Easter eggs and stuff in like Birth by Sleep that it doesn't really make sense. I've seen people argue for chronological order, and I'm like, no, play it in release order.
They're arguing that because they already know everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-mm. No, they're wrong.
Yeah, like there's like there's very few exceptions in regards to game series when it comes to playing in chronological order. But most of it, I'm just gonna play in the order of when the games were released. And Kingdom Hearts is gonna be that. But I will.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to know the actual like chronological order of a game series, but most of the time it's just better to play the games in release order because you get those nice quality of life changes, and just like was mentioned earlier, if you play them out of release order, you're not going to understand the subtle nods that they give you if you didn't play them in release order.
Yeah. And also, to add to my list of games that I have played that I love, Super Mario RPG. Absolutely. I've also played the remake. Granted, Square was not really involved in that one. They did have one of their studios assist Nintendo with that one, which one of the studios that they had, they worked on some of the Dragon Quest remakes, like Dragon Quest 7 and 8 remakes on the 3DS. They did the Super Mario RPG remake, and it was fantastic. But the original game was really good. And funny enough, in North America, that was the last game from Square that was released on Nintendo platforms for 6 or 7 years. Because after that, like, they jump ship to PlayStation. But in Japan, they released 2 other games. There was a Front Mission game, the first one, I believe, and the other was this game called Bahamut Lagoon, which never came out here. Hopefully that gets a remake before they jump to PlayStation. But yeah, like, those are the main ones. I do enjoy Guys God Bless the Ring. I think it's a really underrated fighting game for PlayStation, but it just happens to have Final Fantasy VII characters, so yeah. So next up, I will be asking Rodzilla this question first. What were some Square Enix games you have spent the most time on, and why?
Well, I know Final Fantasy VI is going to be one of them, just because I've always been a fan. I was actually lucky enough to go to Chicago in 2015 to the Distance World concert and get the VIP ticket to meet Uematsu-san.
Nice.
And my picture taken with him. I'm like, bucket list done. Because people are now comparing him, after all the music he's done for all the past 40 years, that he is basically a modern day Beethoven.
Yeah.
Modern day Bach. So it's like, it's amazing. And the opera in 6, I cannot get enough of it.
Yes. So good.
I mean, it's like, audio was so bad, the words were barely legible, but it's so good.
It really was.
So, 6, hands down, gonna be the one I probably spent the most time on. Aside from that, Final Fantasy 14.
Yep.
Because I have probably about 4 years of game time in that game. And it's awesome just hearing all the differences. You're going to hear a lot of music from me because that's how I connect to video games. Nier.
Yep.
Phenomenal soundtrack. Super Mario RPG, done by the same composer for that. It's the same composer for Kingdom Hearts.
Yep.
So it's just like, why am I hearing Kingdom Hearts and Super Mario RPG? And then I looked up, I was like, oh, it's her. Okay. She also did the soundtrack for 15. So, like I said, Final Fantasy 6, Chrono Trigger. I can play those day in, day out. Every anniversary for Akira Toriyama's death, I play Chrono Trigger.
Yep.
But Frog's theme, number 1, hands down.
Absolutely.
Respect.
100% respect.
And one of the comments that I tell people all the time is, they go, well, it's too bad Dragon Ball didn't ever make an RPG. It's called Chrono Trigger. Look it up.
Also, there's like 100 Dragon Ball games. What do you mean?
Yeah. And there was that kind of RPG on the Game Boy Advance, the Legacy of Goku or whatever.
Yeah.
There
I
were
was
2.
just about to make that one, yeah.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said,
Me,
I'm a soundtrack guy.
yeah, Final Fantasy is great.
You give it the soundtrack, you're done. Final Fantasy 8, no one mentions it. Draw system, horrible. Soundtrack, amazing.
Apparently 8 has a... I keep hearing that. I haven't played 8 yet, but people tell me that 8 has a better card game than 9. I gotta try it out to see.
Oh, yeah.
Because I love 9, so...
Definitively.
9 card game is garbage.
It was boring.
I love Tetramaster. I love that show, but
You just
I
don't know.
played the better one.
Triple Triad was
You just
born.
don't know any better. Yeah.
Let's just put it this way: Triple Triad is loved more, and that just shows you because in Final Fantasy 14 you can just play Triple Triad.
Yeah.
yeah. The devs
The new card game in Rebirth is really good too.
and
I had a good time with that.
Cutie Caitlin in chat says the devs tell new players to play the 8 card game to make 8 better. Like, I wouldn't mind if Triple Triad was released as his own game.
Right? Just let us have it. It's perfect. It would be perfect as a mobile game. I don't want to get onto this topic.
I'll play it.
One thing I'll say is mobile games have a very short life with Square Enix.
Yeah.
That's why I don't get attached to them, because it's like Game of Thrones. Your favorite one's going to die eventually, and you're not going to be happy.
And
Nope.
I held my iPad when Opera Omnia ended service. I held my iPad like I was holding the picture frame of a dead child. And I was bawling my eyes out.
like didn't like Brave Exvius shut down as well?
Both of them did.
Like, all the Bravest is the one that nobody talks about.
Yeah, well, there's a reason for that.
Are we talking about the Ariana Grande one, or are we talking about the one that's based like Tactics?
Yes.
There was
No.
there was also Airship Final Fantasy Airship Brigade, I think it was called. It was like one of their first like mobile games. I played that a bunch. It was like a kind of a competitive thing, and like I remember I would spend a tiny bit of money, and I had like 2 whales on my team, so we were like in the top of the like things. I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
I will say I made some amazing friendships from those mobile games.
Nice. Let's see. Patches, your turn. What were some of the Square Enix games you spent the most time on?
Probably. I mean, I've replayed a lot of the Final Fantasy games multiple times. I'd say the games that I've replayed the most growing up were the Kingdom Hearts games, because I played through them. I'd be like, I want to revisit this, and then go through like every couple of years. I'd play through like pretty much all of them. Yeah. So probably Kingdom Hearts. But I have spent a lot of time on Final Fantasy, and I've replayed, especially 7, 8, and 9, a ton of times. So.
Yeah. Bookslap.
Oh, and Chrono Trigger, of course.
Yeah, Chrono
I've
Trigger.
beaten that a billion times, and I own it on every platform.
Yes. Bookslap.
I mean, it feels like it's not really a fair answer, but Final Fantasy 14, I have literally, oh man, I hate hitting slash playtime to reveal the forbidden number, but it's something like an actual year of my life in that game. I've been running a pretty big free company for multiple years. I log in every day to do the chores and tend to my children. They actually call me dad. In the free company, which is fine. It's okay. I don't mind. So like, I don't know. It's kind of like it's not a fair answer, but like realistically, it's the game I've played the most in my entire life. Outside of that, it's actually weirdly probably a tie between Final Fantasy X, my favorite, which I've just replayed a whole bunch, and Final Fantasy 12, which I like, but I've also done everything in it, and doing everything in that game takes 100+ hours. So
Especially if you try to fight Yazamat.
yeah, that doing that, hunting for all of the components for the bazaar. It's totally not a crafting system. No, it's a bazaar that you're selling things into. You're not crafting items.
It's a crafting system.
It's a crafting system.
I had to rage quit against Yasmet because I'm like, oh good, he's down to like 2 bars, and it's like back to full health. What the?
Yeah. The anti-cheats and things they have. Yep. Cast full life. It could be worse. It could be a Jailer of Love situation.
If I remember correctly, even if you're like fully maxed out and you have the best gear and everything, it still takes you at minimum like 35-40 minutes to beat down Yazamat. It's insane.
It's because he cheats.
He does.
He cheats. He imposes new caps on your damage. So as he gets closer to death, your damage cap keeps getting smaller.
Mm-hmm.
The game cheats.
Yeah. What about you, Durgan? Which Square Enix games do you spend the most time on?
Well, as I definitely said earlier, Final Fantasy X, I can guarantee you I've played it at least 15, 16 times across the years.
Yeah.
3 of those runs actually being full completionist runs. So maxing out the sphere grid, fighting all the Dark Aeons, fighting all the All Bad Primers, all that kind of stuff. And I keep replaying it because I try to find new ways to just break the game and just make it easier. Final Fantasy 14, I have hours of playtime on that game. I've pretty much I've gotten to the point in Final Fantasy 14 where I have to actually start finding things to do. Otherwise, I don't have any reason to log on at the moment.
Yep.
But outside of those 2, Kingdom Hearts, I've played multiple times throughout the years, just to understand little caveats about the game. When the final mix first came out for Kingdom Hearts 2, my buddy and I had a competition to see who could beat the secret boss the fastest.
Yeah.
And I was the only one that could actually do it without losing his collective mind.
Yeah. Like, honestly, here's my thing. I would like to actually get into Final Fantasy 14 in the future. The thing is, my question... Go ahead.
It's definitely a good game to get into. For sure.
Yeah. The thing is, I know for a fact that the moment I do, I know it's going to take up a lot of my time, but I'll figure it out. If I do, I'll probably have to figure out like how I'll handle it, how I'll approach it, because there's multiple expansions. What's the latest one right now?
Dawn Trail. Hey, you're not missing much with Dawn Trail.
Not really.
No, to be completely honest, you're not.
All right. Yeah, because I've been hearing that the game wasn't great up until when A Realm Reborn came out. That's when everything changed.
Oh, yeah. 1.0, terrible.
Oh, 1.0 is horrendous.
It's gone, and they refuse to let you play it in any way because it's
so A Realm Reborn is really the start.
Yeah.
They crashed the moon into the game to wipe it clean. So, yeah, they were pretty serious about it.
Yeah.
Not saying this is the new start.
It's just the original 1.0 for 14 was just so bad that they had to bring in the now current game director of it, Yoshida-san, and he has led the game to where it is now, to where it becomes the whole theme of, for the first 30 days, your Final Fantasy 14 subscription is free and you can get up to this level in this expansion. It's only because of, Nakio Yoshida that the game has gotten so much popularity and press across the years.
Yeah. And I've heard that they had multiple collabs with like different games and whatnot. Like I know there's collabs with Monster Hunter, and there's also been like
Dragon Quest,
Yokai Watch.
Yep.
Wasn't there also one with like the Nissan Cup noodles, or was that Final Fantasy VII Remake?
It was 7 remake, I think.
And
with the noodles.
And then the noodles in 15.
They have done collaborations with like Mountain Dew and Butterfinger.
Butterfinger.
Like a Butterfinger or whatever, you can get a code to put in the game and you get a free mount.
Yeah.
And Gong Cha bubble tea.
Yep.
Those I missed out on. Because everyone just swarmed those shops immediately.
Yeah.
You don't have a Mountain Zoo?
I've only played through the base game and then most of the first expansion. I'm not a big MMO person, so I was like, I liked it, but it's just like the repetition of missions. I'm like, I I want to die.
Yeah.
But I did play while they were doing the last Mountain Dew event, and I got the Mountain Zoo.
Oh yeah. Like but that's a series I definitely want to do. Like, or at least just a game, Final Fantasy 14, because like I just need to figure out like when I want to play it and how I want to play it and who I want to play it with. But I'll figure it all out in the future.
Gotcha.
But
There's also
the way I always,
Fall Guys. There was also the collab with Fall Guys.
oh yeah, Fall Guys.
Oh,
They did do
Actually coming
that.
back this month.
Oh wow.
what I usually tell people that are looking to get into 14 is get into 14 because you are curious about the game and play the game at your own speed. Don't let anyone dictate which, however fast that, they want you to play. Just play the game at your own speed. If you're, if you only want to get on and, craft and gather or fish or whatever for the day,
Yeah.
get on and do that. Get on and do it.
Absolutely. 100%.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's really kind of a shame because that 14 is an MMO and it's stuck with MMO trappings and, kill 3 bears and bring us their furs, style classic quests. Because honestly, it has the best story in any RPG or in any Final Fantasy. And like, it's locked behind hundreds of hours of gameplay, but it is the best. So
I absolutely agree with you.
Yeah.
I'm here to tell that story.
Oh yeah. So
And I mean, right now, the reason why Dawn Trail doesn't really have anything for the players that have been around since, the refresh of Realm Reborn is because it's kind of like a palate cleanser because we just finished like a big saga and now we have to start from, the beginning telling a whole new story again.
yeah, we already fought the scariest boss of all, depression. So, what are we gonna do now?
So
and now people who haven't played the game are like, is he joking? Or did that really happen?
well, I guess now like they just probably want to get a new generation of people coming in.
Yeah.
Well, all right. So, in terms of what Square games I've spent the most time on, well, Final Fantasy IX I've spent a lot of time on, like multiple times, but I finally beat the game years ago. Because I remember when I first played the game, I randomly stopped at somewhere in the middle of disc 3, and I don't remember where I was and why I stopped. But then it's like when I got back, like, because when it was released on Switch, I was playing it on there. I was just playing on my own because I love the fact that they had like the speed up where you can be able to like speed up and battles and when you're grinding, and also turn off random battles when you're trying to look for something. But other than that, like when I finally beat the game, I'm like, yes, this game is as good as people say it is. It really is good. And then I played 7, and I enjoyed 7, but I liked 9 more. But when I played 6, I love 6 even more. Like I spent a decent amount of time on that. But in terms of hours, the original Octopath Traveler, I've spent a whole ton of time on that one. Probably the most out of any game that I play from Square Enix so far. But all of that will change in due time. I spent a decent amount of time on Nier Automata. Because in the beginning of 2024, when I was streaming, I played that, loved it, and it's now up there as one of my favorite games of all time. Like both in terms of like action and RPG. Because Platinum also worked on the game, and it felt like there were elements where it kind of felt like playing Bayonetta, but there were also elements where I'm playing an RPG in that sense. It was that good. Super Mario RPG, multiple playthroughs on the original game, plus the one playthrough on the remake. Chrono Trigger is another one I've done. Like I think this is my second playthrough of the game. but I've never got the true ending, and I'm working on getting the true ending. But I've got the normal ending before.
There's like 13 endings.
Yeah. There was some like, I know, like for Nier, there were some endings that like New York Times, there were endings I found by accident. I'm like, I didn't mean to find this, but all right. Now let's go back to the game and do this the way I should do it, rather than like do that accidental ending. Yeah, that's the thing, because it seems like Yoko Taro likes to hide so many surprises, and then like you'll never know if you'll find it. I gotta go back and play the original Nier, or play Nier Replicant. I'll do that. But I want to play Octopath Traveler 2. I think I'm going to spend a lot of time on that one. But yeah, those are the games I spent like the most time on. Like everything else, not as much, but I want to work on that. Like, again, very there are more Final Fantasy games I want to get into, and one Final Fantasy game I really want to get into is 10.
You will enjoy 10. If you love really good storytelling, 10 will get you.
Yeah.
10 is the game that I recommend to people who want to start playing games but don't really have a whole lot of experience, because it just works.
Yeah.
It's one of my suggested like starter points for Final Fantasy. I'm like, if you want kind of modernish like appearance and stuff, play 10. If you're okay with like retro games, I generally will be like, play 4 as your first one. I feel like 4 is a really good starting point too.
Yeah. The only other Final Fantasy game I really want to get into besides 10 is 5.
5 is fun.
5 is good.
It's very different.
5 is good.
No.
I think 5 is the most like similar to Dragon Quest out of all of them, where it's like you're on an adventure. Like there's the story and stuff, but it feels like a big adventure with friends.
Yep. Yeah, because I've also like last year I've played the Pixel Remastered version of 4, and I enjoy it. I enjoy 4. Like 4 is fun. Like it may not be, to me, it's not as grandiose as like 6 or 7 or 9, but I do, however, like the characters. I like the charm a lot more than most other Final Fantasies I've experienced. It's really neat. It's very neat.
That's the first one that had like a strong structured story. Like one was just kind of like, you're the heroes, beat the bad guys. And then two had like a decent story, but it feels all over the place.
Yeah.
But
2 was weirdly ahead of its time with the way that it tried to have a leveling system and the stories and its adult themes. They couldn't pull it off, but it was very ahead of its time.
6 is just heavily regarded as the best Final Fantasy game ever created.
And
like that's from talking to multiple people, that 6 is the best.
Yes. Like for me, I feel like Kefka is a much better villain than Sephiroth.
I agree.
But like
So pained by this.
Despite the fact that I do have like a Sephiroth amiibo sitting somewhere, as well as 2 different Cloud amiibos in my shelves, but they should have put some Final Fantasy 6 characters in Smash. That would have been excellent. But of course they went with 7. 7's the more popular one. But now I want to ask a question that I did not plan to ask, but I might as well ask it anyway. And I'll start with McPatches on this. Have you played any non-Square games that had like Square characters, like crossover characters and all that stuff? Like anything crossover?
I mean, I played Smash Bros. That's like what I can think of off the top of my head.
Yeah.
I don't know what other games are there that
well, like I know, like some of the Monster Hunter games have like Final Fantasy crossover stuff.
Oh yeah, when they've done like events for things and stuff.
Yeah.
I've dipped my toes in the Monster Hunter series, but I haven't really gone too heavy. But yeah, Smash Bros is probably the biggest one I can think of. I'm a very casual Smash Bros player, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Also, I completely forgot about this one game that just I was reminded of its existence. ActRaiser for the Super Nintendo. It also had a remake. Great game. Bookslap. Were there any like non-Square or Square Enix games that you played that had Square Enix characters in it, like a crossover of sorts?
No, because like there's so many games that do have crossovers, but they're also Square Enix games. So it's like, no, I don't think. I'd have to like sit down with a list of games to be able to answer this accurately. So I'm gonna say no, but I'm open to the possibility that something will make me go, "Oh yeah, I did."
Yeah, because what about you, Durgan?
I'm kind of in the same boat. Like, I don't think I've actually played any games that have had Square Enix as a crossover. That's not made by Square Enix. I'm pretty sure Square Enix has been like very closely guarded with their, with their IP when it comes to like Square Enix characters.
Yeah, Rod. Oh, the Match of the Gathering cards.
I had to.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I didn't think about
I
that.
forgot about that.
I've resisted really
all
hard.
summer.
Yeah.
That was my summer.
Nice. So,
And the one card I'm so happy I got was Kefka, drawn by Yoshitaka Amano.
nice.
Oh, nice.
I'm like, perfect.
Good stuff.
Like, he is Mr. Final Fantasy art. So him drawing Kefka like that, it's just like beautiful.
Excellent. So for me, like, yeah, Smash, because Smash 4 on both the 3DS and Wii U and Smash Ultimate, you have Square characters in there, like Cloud, Sephiroth. You got the hero from Dragon Quest that has like 4 different versions of it. The one I personally use is the one from 3. And you have Sora from Kingdom Hearts, which the fact that they managed to get Sora in Smash at all is impressive.
Yeah.
He's never coming back after this, though, so it's one of those things where you got to enjoy it while you can. but here's the thing: I have played other games that had Square characters. Even though, like, yes, Square developed them, I count them more as Nintendo games. So, for example, there's 2 different Mario sports games that Square Enix have developed. Mario Hoops 3v3 for the DS. It has Final Fantasy characters in that. And then you also have Mario Sports Mix for the Wii, which has Final Fantasy, and I think they have Dragon Quest characters in that too. So those games have, like, while Square developed them, I consider them more to be Nintendo games. So those are a pretty cool crossover that has the Square characters. And while Square published this, and it's their series, here's what I do want to bring up. There was this board game series in Japan known as Itadaki Street.
I was just gonna say this. Yes.
Well, on the Wii there was Fortune Street, which has Nintendo and Dragon Quest characters. I have been playing that a lot more lately because of the Mario Party Madness group that I'm a part of. We play Fortune Street. I absolutely
is a great game.
love Fortune Street. Square, bring that back.
Imagine playing Monopoly, except you can like invest in other people's properties. You can like buy stocks in other people's properties. That's Fortune Street.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a PS4 game that never got localized. That was the Final Fantasy Dragon Quest crossover. The reason that they're reluctant to localize anymore here is because when Fortune Street was localized here, it bombed. It
totally bombed.
It bombed in sales. It came out like very late.
Totally bombed.
It should have came out earlier in the Wii's life cycle. It really should have.
They also chose really strange characters from Dragon Quest for it. Like, they have Jessica from Dragon Quest 8. Okay, she's like kind of recognizable, but then they have characters like Princessa and ones from like 4 and 5, and it's like, who even knows who is in that game? Like, what?
Like, if there were to be a new Fortune Street game, here's my pitch for it. For the Square Enix side, you would have like more than just Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy. You have Nier, you have Octopath, you have Live Alive, you have Kingdom. Well, if they can get Kingdom Hearts, like they get Sora, Riku, and all them, though that probably might be a stretch. So basically, like more Square characters on that side, and then for the Nintendo side, like you get more than just the Mario characters. Like you get Zelda, you get Metroid, you get Kirby, and all them. But that would be fun if they wanted to do another Fortune Street. I would play it. Like obviously, like more boards, tweak a couple of things to make it better. But yeah. But it sucks that Fortune Street bombed over here when it released on the Wii. But it's so good though. It's fun.
If I remember correctly, if memory serves me, there was actually another crossover for a fighting game. I forget which one it is, but they actually added in Clive Rossfield from Final Fantasy 16 as a playable fighter.
Tekken 8.
Tekken.
It's
Tekken 8.
Yeah, he's in Tekken. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in Tekken 8. I know for a fact that in Tekken 7 it was Noctis from 15. And in Soul Calibur 6, it was 2B. Also, fun fact, Cloud almost made it to Soul Calibur 2 for the PS2. But Square kind of got cold feet, and it probably might have been due to the merger with Enix at the time. By the time that Soul Calibur 2 was about to release. So because of that, they just put Heihachi from Tekken just to have the PS2 version. Because GameCube had Link and Xbox had Spawn. So they had to give PS2 something. But Cloud in like Soul Calibur 2 would have been amazing. But
yeah,
at this point, it's just like a biggest like what if.
And there's been a lot of people pushing for Tifa to be in Tekken.
Yes. Just like how
Like Tifa and Tekken makes way more sense than like Clive or any other sword user.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like how Cloud would make sense in Soul Calibur because it's a weapons-based fighting game where you even just change out your weapons and, let me use the nail bat on Voldo.
Real talk though, we could have had like there's an alternate universe right now where they have a version of Tekken 8 that has Tifa playable, and you could actually fight as Tifa on a Waffle House stage.
Yeah. Oh man,
you're right. We do live in the blurst timeline.
We did. This timeline's a mistake.
It is a mistake.
But yeah, like I feel like Square is only more open to crossovers when if they feel like it benefits them. And because they've always been very guarded. People say they're stingy, and they can be, but I see why they are. Because they want to make sure that they benefit from the crossover. So that's just how it is. All right. So the next question I'll ask before we do the community questions, the next one is, and we'll start this one off with Bookslap. So how have Square Enix's games shaped up your taste in gaming?
Extremely influential. Probably only rivaled by companies like Game Freak and Capcom in terms of like developing my taste in games. Hello, Tilly. Sorry, my old dog who has problems breathing you can probably hear her coughing over my shoulder.
It's fine.
Yeah, really, it's hard to. It like fits a whole slice of my gaming life. I don't really play a lot of RPGs anymore. I'm more of like an action adventure kind of archetype gamer these days. Third person shooters. What I'm trying to say is that I just listen to me ramble on during the Resident Evil podcast. If you go back into the Shellshock archives,
Yeah.
but like for a whole chunk of my life where I was that guy playing a bunch of RPGs or importing games or doing whatever, it was all Square and Enix and Square Enix things. So it's like, it's really hard to overstate how significant those were in developing my taste.
All right.
Yeah.
Durgan?
For me, just Square Enix in general, they've just made me a bigger judge of a game's story and music. If the game doesn't have a good story or good taste, like a good like musical score with it, I never really truly enjoy the game.
Right.
And that even goes for like future Square Enix titles. It's like, yeah, I love Final Fantasy X, but I would never recommend people play World of Final Fantasy.
Right.
You know, like World of Final Fantasy is okay. It's just the story and the characters I didn't jive with, and it wasn't exactly what I would expect out of a Square Enix Final Fantasy type game.
That's
So it's
fair.
just playing Square Enix games have just made me a much bigger harper on just overall good storytelling.
Oh, absolutely. Rod, what about you? Like, how have Square Enix's games shape up your taste in gaming?
For me, the most part is, of course, they're influential. They have the story, they have the soundtrack. But for me personally, if I don't feel that connection with the characters, it's just like Final Fantasy VI. If you do certain things, the ending totally changes, and it's like things happen. I'm not going to go into spoilers, but things like that happen. Final Fantasy IX, things happen at the end. 10-2, things happen at the end. 13-2, lots of plot in that one. When you get towards the end and you get the actual end of the story, and it's just like it's like ripping out your heart.
Yep.
And 14, Game of Thrones with RPG. That's all I have to say.
Yep, pretty much.
You get attached to someone because they may die.
Oh, yeah.
That's my only rule for 14. It's just like, beware.
Yep. What about you, Big Patches?
Oh, it was huge. It like really had a huge impact on me. As a kid playing Final Fantasy VII, I was hooked on JRPGs. I would go rent like all the RPGs I could, blow through them. I bought used birthday money and whatnot, did extra chores to get money to buy more RPGs. So I pretty much exclusively played RPGs up until like 360 era, when there was like a drought of RPGs. It felt like I still played like pretty much all the ones that came out on the console, but that's when I branched out to like shooters and stuff. And I've been getting back to playing turn-based RPGs, but I do have to agree that I'm more into like more action-y games and stuff now. As I've gotten older, I just I don't know, it holds my brain better. But I think there's a part of me that's been a little bit disillusioned with like JRPGs, where the combat is pretty much big number, do big number over and over and over and over again.
Yep.
I love the stories, and that's a big selling point for me.
Oh, yeah. Well, absolutely. So,
Yeah.
So for me, they definitely helped me in terms of like the type of games that I would enjoy. Like they have these big, long stories that I could easily get into, and whenever I stop playing for the night, and then the next time like I'm about to play, I'm like in my mind just looking forward, anticipating just what's gonna happen next, because you never know, and then you would be going in different directions where you would never expect to see like certain characters go, or certain scenarios even take place. Some are predictable, but there's most that work. Most and by that small, I mean it's very minuscule. Most of it for me has been completely unpredictable. I never know what to expect, and I get shocked. Even if I hear about like a certain type of plot point, it's not even about what happens that makes me like shocked or just wondering like how did he manage to get it to work. It's the way they do it. It's like, yes, someone could say something about like a certain plot point I will not mention about Final Fantasy VII because spoilers, but it's not about what happens. It's the way it happens that gets me. And I'm like, wow, that is not at all what I was expecting. That much I'll say. But I absolutely just respect Square, like, for just everything that they've ever done. Like, granted, there have been a couple of stinkers. There have been a couple of random games that just didn't really do it for me. But most games, they definitely work, and when they click, they make me like, I want to play this game, I want to play that game. And like there's still some games from Square I still need to do. Like I still need to play the World Ends Review at some point. I still have to do like the Kingdom Hearts series, and I would also like to eventually like try out like some of their smaller stuff. Like I would like to also play Star Ocean. Like I keep hearing nothing but great things about Star Ocean 2. I would also like to do Parasite Eve someday. But there's one Square game I've always wanted to play that I want to finally make time for. It's for PS1. It's called Vagrant Story. I've been hearing great things about that one.
I've heard a lot of good things about Vagrant Story.
Yeah, I have never played it myself, but it is supposed to be a very good one.
Yeah, I have it. It's on my list to play.
I think my reluctance on wanting to play it soon is because like, what if I play it, I finish it, and then it turns out that Square announces a remake or a remaster, and I'm like, I should have waited. Because like I feel like I'm just waiting to see if they're going to remaster it, and like I've been waiting for years. I'm like, you know what? I might as well just like emulate it, because I'll play it and like just see if I really do love this game, and if there's a remaster, if it happens, it happens. But I'll play Vagrant Story.
That's happened to me multiple times now. Like I played on stream. When I first started, I was playing Final Fantasy IV on the Super Nintendo, and they announced the Pixel remasters, which I'd played all those games before, but it was still like, oh, okay. And then Mario RPG, I bought a copy with like birthday money, played it, and then they announced the remake of Mario RPG, and then I played through Lunar, picked up Lunar 2, and then they announced the remasters of Lunar 1 and 2. I was like, I tried to summon the Final Fantasy IX remake, but it didn't work. like
it happened to me once. I remember like I was playing Cuphead on Steam, and then I found out that Cuphead was being ported to the Switch, and I'm like, wow, okay. Sometimes it happens. You just never know. Like, but anyway, like I will eventually get to Vagrant Story. That's the one I really want to play in the future, and I really do hope we get a remake of Final Fantasy IX, because that will be amazing.
Okay, if they remake 9, I have to ask this, because I love 9, but I have weird opinions about it. Do you want them to keep the chibi art?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Art's important for it.
Yeah. I feel like...
Okay, I absolutely hate it, but...
I feel like... Go ahead.
I feel like if they remake 9 and they try to bring it to like the graphics that they have for the 7 remake, it's gonna make Vivi look a little bit weird, and it's gonna make what's the... When my wife played it, she named them all weird names. The one that basically eats everyone, that looks like a gigantic...
Quina.
It's just going to make that character just look even weirder.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, but also, but Ketchi is in the remake, and that's like
You
a
can
similar
also
silhouette.
you can also look at City Opera Omnia and the graphics that they used for that because they had Vivi in it, they had Queena in it.
Yeah. I
They
was
actually like blacked out the screen when Queena did their limit break, but still.
Oh yeah, I was thinking. I was thinking to myself that if there's any Final Fantasy game that should have a remake on the same scale as Final Fantasy VII remake, 6. That's the one that's the only other one. I can't see any other Final Fantasy having that same style as 7 remake other than 6.
Truthfully, in my opinion,
personally-
the next Final Fantasy game that needs a remake or just bringing the game to better graphics would be 6.
Yeah,
You know, I've heard a lot of people talking about how 10 needs it. I'm like, no, 10 doesn't need it.
yeah,
People
Leave 10
already
alone.
upgraded 10 multiple times, so like, it's okay,
Yeah.
fine.
They took Titus from looking like, a normal person to a guy that hadn't had sleep in about 10 decades.
I
yeah,
think if we did get a remake, the Memoria project that those fans made a couple years ago, that looked incredible. It used the same it was an updated 3D models and stuff, but I was just like, oh my god, I need this so bad. I posted a link to the Reddit thread that has a video of it in the stream chat.
Yeah,
But-
I honestly think 6 is fairly overrated, and I still think it's the one that should be remade. I feel like it would make a lot of people happy, and that is my reason.
I think 6 would be good for a remake. I also think 8 would be really good for a remake because that the story in 8 gets really wonky in the later chunk, and I think a remake could clean up a lot of the story and the gameplay. I think the gameplay would translate to the 7 remake style really well.
yeah.
Yeah, 8 is another one too that was trying to do too much, and it did cool stuff, but there's a couple of weird I love 8. 8 was the first one that I ever actually owned myself, but I can see why people have problems with it.
Yeah.
I was gonna say with Final Fantasy VIII, they're gonna get rid of one of their best jokes. You're the best looking guy here.
Best looking guy here.
Well, they did that with the remaster. That was really funny.
Pixelated.
Yeah.
Yep.
I wish that in the remaster that they just in that one scene had him all pixelated again.
Oh yeah. Let's see. So let's do the community questions. All right. So, Professor Icepick asks, do you think the Square Enix merger was a mistake or the best possible outcome? I would not call it a mistake. If anything, I think... Go ahead.
You go ahead. No, you finish. I was interrupting.
It's definitely not a mistake for sure. I think it's an outcome that needed to happen for both parties. More so for Square. I felt like Square needed it way more. But it helps benefit both of them. Granted, some of their decisions they've made over the years was definitely not something I would agree with. When they got into NFTs and all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Although it seems because people thought that they were going to go in with generative AI, but it seems like they're pushing back against that. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, that and also the fact that they had for a few years ago, they were doing quantity over quality. But I think they're in a better place now than what they were a few years ago. But it's just, I would still say that it's definitely not a mistake to merge the two companies.
Yeah.
I think we have the benefit now, 22 years later, something like that?
Yeah.
We have the benefit of hindsight now, and think about how many studios have closed or been gobbled up by other studios and then closed.
Yeah.
Or have been sold out and taken apart and don't produce the things that they were beloved for now. I think it was easily the best thing that could have happened before all of that, because they would have both suffered that same fate, especially Square.
Yeah.
They would have both been, they would have gone down the same path that countless other developers have if they hadn't become this development and publishing giant that they are now. Because like we're talking a lot, like remember we're talking a lot about like Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest. Square Enix produces a lot of games that have nothing to do with RPGs now.
Life is
Like,
Strange.
yeah, and not a great example, but Forspoken, they have IDOS, they have all of that stuff. They have like they do a ton of things. We may disagree with some of those business decisions, and yeah, some of those games may be stinkers, but like if they hadn't become the powerhouse that they are now, they would have gone down a while ago.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Yeah.
just like Caitlin just said in your stream chat. You know, Square can be very like 50-50. They're either a hit or they're a miss.
Yeah.
You know, in my opinion, this is where I will disagree with Caitlin on this a little bit. I believe 16 was the best Final Fantasy created since 12. I did not care for 13 at all. I didn't like the pacing of the story. I didn't resonate with any of the characters. 14 was great, but that's its own separate thing because it's an MMO. 15, I just thought it was Backstreet Boys on vacation. Didn't like it at all. I did not like it at all. The story was very predictable. Listen, if I want to see the power of friendship, I'll go watch Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yep.
You cannot stand by me. All right, that's decided.
I'm pretty sure Squaresoft was
the
dying.
machine and I are gonna leave.
Like they went broke after Final Fantasy Spirits Within, since we mentioned that earlier.
Yeah.
Like that crushed them pretty hard. So I don't think Squaresoft would be around if they didn't merge.
Yeah.
I don't know about Enix.
No, I agree with you on that.
Yeah. Rod, what's your answer to this?
Mostly what everybody said, but there's one thing that I actually did look up, and it's like, oh, I forgot Square Enix did that. A little anime called Kakegurui about gambling.
Mm-hmm.
That was by Square Enix,
Yep.
and a lot of people forget that.
Let's see.
Yeah, I agree. The merger was definitely needed. Otherwise, Dragon Quest, Star Ocean, Final Fantasy probably wouldn't be around this day.
Yeah. Because like Enix definitely would have survived like no matter what because they have Dragon Quest. They would not go anywhere. Let's see. Next question. This one's from Tien Angelic. How do you feel about Square Enix's current direction with mobile gaming? For me, I haven't really been following it, so I'll let you guys handle it.
I think the current landscape of their mobile games are, when it comes in terms of like mobile games, they're fine. I just feel like they need to kind of go backwards and see from the success of their previous ones like Record Keeper and Opera Omnia. Those two were just absolute home runs. Ever Crisis is okay. It just I don't know. It's just something about Ever Crisis isn't like super drawing on me.
I got so bored. I quit that game.
I stopped playing it after I think like 2 weeks.
I played for like the first year, and then I was just like, it was like real fast for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they need to kind of go back and look at their previous mobile games to kind of find the diamond in the rough and make a game that is going to be a lot better in terms of just playability.
Yeah.
Oh man, that like I was mentioning a little bit earlier, I did the beta for I think it's called Dragon Quest Smash, and it's amazing. It was a lot of fun. It's very roguelike. Like you run through levels, you fight the little monsters and stuff, and it's like active combat, but it was a ton of fun. It had a really good cycle, and I didn't even get to do a lot of the like end game stuff that some people made because I was busy through most of the week. But I think that game's going to be a huge hit. It comes out next year.
Nice. Yeah. Let's see. So, yeah, because again, I don't really have much to say regarding Square's mobile games, but I will say, though, that I just tend to prefer, like, any of them to come to console or PC. That's really it for me. Next one is from Dragonflame 323. Which is your favorite Team Asano game? Which they're the ones who made Octopath, Bravely Default, Triangle Strategy. As a comment, I'm super looking forward to Adventures of Elliot personally. Yeah, that's that new game coming out next year. That new action RPG they're coming out with. But I love Octopath Traveler so much. I never finished Triangle Strategy, and I could not get into Bravely Default. But
I loved Bravely Default. I thought it was such a good twist on. I thought it was such a good twist on a well-worn combat system, and I loved that the two gimmicks were that you could brave or you could default. So they got to keep saying the game's name,
Yeah.
which is all I want in a script.
Yeah. I'd say the Bravely Default games are probably my favorite from Team Asano. I want to give Octopath another shot. I wanted, when I tried playing it, I got kind of bored because I felt like the stories weren't connected enough. Like, it's like I'm just doing different chapters of other, like, each story, but it's like I wanted it to, like, weave more. I love the combat and stuff in Octopath. Like, mechanically, it's amazing, but I just didn't click with the story.
yep. Yeah.
Personally, I would have loved Octopath Traveler. There is one song though in Bravely Default. It's just catchy as hell, and I just cannot. Like anytime it pops up, it's like, "Ooh, that's a good jam." That person's name. That's all it says on YouTube. But it's like it's so just like it relaxes me so much.
Yeah.
And I think it's one of the battle themes from Bravely Default.
Oh, yeah. I'll more likely give Bravely Default another chance since it did get an HD remaster. I'll get it at some point. Just it's one of those games where because I prioritize what I wanted to get this year and whatever I didn't get, I'm just gonna wait for like a Black Friday sale, just get it Black Friday. But yeah. Octopath Traveler is amazing. I need to play Octopath 2. And I'll talk more about Live Alive in a little while. But Mr. Ben asks, what, in your opinion, is the best Final Fantasy game of all time? And what he also said in his question is, he crossed off, and why is it 7?
That's wrong because it's Chrono Trigger.
It's Chrono Trigger is the best Final Fantasy game ever made. But
You know, I am a hater, but Chrono Trigger does live up to the hype. I had to admit it. I was like, it really does.
yeah.
So for me, my favorites are 6, 8, and 9. Just because your story, music, you got me.
For
And anybody
me,
who
at the
doesn't think it's a
moment,
Final Fantasy.
for me, my top 3 are 10, 12, and 16.
6, 9, and I actually kind of like 4 more than 7.
Let's say 10, 8, and 16. 8 is purely rose-tinted glasses, but no game has made me cry the way that 16 made me cry.
Yep.
Fair.
I haven't played it yet, so
Yeah,
Sure,
well,
I'll-
don't make the mistake. Don't make the mistake that I did and finish the final quest and then try to go to work. Because I think I work remote because I was damaged.
Ooh. Yeah.
I mentioned earlier, I love 9. 10 is another favorite. 7 was my first, so it always has like a special place in my heart.
Yep.
And then with the classic ones, like 6 is amazing, and I love 5 because it's just like a big adventure. But I love so much of the series. It's hard for me to pick like a favorite, and they do rotate around a lot. Like,
Yeah.
but 9's usually the most consistent. That's like top for the actual Final Fantasy series.
Yep.
And you know what? I'm going to say, I feel like the favorites that people have should rotate out some. You know, like they'll mean different things to you at different points in your life.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I think that's fair to say.
One other thing I'd like to say is Final Fantasy V. I always replay it every summer because they always do the 4-job fiesta, where it basically makes you think about how you're going to play the game, things you're not allowed to do, things you're allowed to do.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
Yeah, I really want to do a 4-job. I think next summer I'm going to pull the trigger and finally do one.
Yeah. The next one is from Shad JV, and this was a very hard-hitting question. How do you feel about Tetsuya Nomura as a storyteller?
Oh, that's a tricky one.
Pull the trigger, end of story.
If you were a buddy of mine, if I was my buddy, he would basically say, do not let Tetsuya Nomura touch anything Final Fantasy related ever again.
I think Nomura gets blamed for a lot more than it's actually his fault.
I agree.
Because the 7 remake series, like, he's blamed for the changes in there, and then there was an interview where the other 2, like, creative leads were saying, like, yeah, no, Nomura wanted it to be more faithful. We wanted to do bigger changes. He kind of held it, like, kept us in line. I'm like, yeah, like, yes, Kingdom Hearts is very convoluted, but part of the reason it's so convoluted was because they didn't want Disney to be able to easily yank it away from them, because Disney owns Kingdom Hearts. Like, it's made by Square, but it's a Disney product.
And this has always been my argument versus remakes versus remasters. If you want a story that is very, like, to the point, the exact same story, just with updated graphics, ask for a remaster. You can't ask for a remake and expect the story to be the same, because it's literally called a remake for a reason.
Yeah.
See, I'm going to say my view on Nomura, and follow me on this because I was thinking about this before the podcast started. He's like Taylor Swift. All right. He's very talented. He has amazing ideas, and he's like a creative juggernaut, but he needs someone to edit him. And he's kind of at a point where I feel like that is not the easiest thing to do. And if you've listened to Taylor Swift's most recent album, you know what I'm talking about, because no one is allowed to touch those lyrics, and that's why some of them are flaming garbage. But some of them are also amazing, because it's just a wellspring of ideas and creativity that demonstrates why editing is a really important skill set.
Yep.
Yeah, I could respect that.
100%, yeah.
Like, there's a lot of directors that are amazing, but then as soon as they're let off their leash, you're like, oh, what are you doing? Like, no, get back here. Like,
You actually need the group effort. Please don't try to be the savant.
Yeah.
the savant developer. It doesn't work 99 times out of 100.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that he does that, but that is the danger.
Yeah, when Tetsuya Nomura, like, honestly, I feel that, because I haven't really played Kingdom Hearts, so I can't really answer anything regarding that. But of the games that he's actually have done before, like, he had some, like, he supervised Super Mario RPG. He has done a lot of Final Fantasy. And the Final Fantasy games I played that he's had, like, major involvement in, like, I think he was fine for what it was, but I don't really have, like, too much of an opinion on him. I do like his art. And one of my favorite pieces of artwork he's done was actually not for Final Fantasy or Kingdom Hearts. It's actually for Smash. Because when Cloud made it to Smash, for Smash 4 on the Wii U and 3DS, it was like the only time he's ever done art where you have Cloud and Link going at it. So just to see his rendition of Link was impressive. But like he had like two clouds. He had the regular cloud, and you had the one from Advent Children. So yeah, I don't have too much to say on Tetsuya Nomura, but I'm pretty sure that once I get into Kingdom Hearts, I probably will.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
I absolutely will.
I was also gonna say it took me with the Magic the Gathering Final Fantasy set to learn he actually did art, because I saw the Sephiroth he did, and I was just like, oh, okay.
Oh yeah, he designed a lot of like characters in like Final Fantasy 6 and 7.
Yeah.
And I think 10 was his designs.
Yep.
Yeah, there's enough belts that it says. Yep.
Yeah. You can tell what he's really into, like at that time.
You could say that
Lots
again.
of belts. Then there's big zippers on everything. Like
Things are like
entire
outfit is
very
just belt.
asymmetrical outfits. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so looking at we have a couple more questions. Next one's from Dari Gamer. If Squaresoft was never fused with Square Enix, what game would you like to see made with the old team instead of what was made? That's a hard question. Very hard. Like, Enix, like, they just continue to make Dragon Quest. They would, like, the original Dragon Guard game was actually going to be Enix before they merged. So, it would have just been that. Square? Well, basically, Final Fantasies after 10 would be completely different from what we get.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't know how different. And I don't know what exactly what they would do, like Square. There's potentially a chance that maybe Hironobu Sakaguchi would have never left. There's a possibility. But I don't know for sure. Because he left to make his own studio. He made Mistwalker. He made Blue Dragon. He made Lost Odyssey. He made Last Story for the Wii. Most recently, Fantasian. But I wonder if Nobuo Uematsu would have left as well. That's something that's something to think about. Like, it's hard, but yeah,
Hard to say.
My answer, hard to say.
Yeah, it's very hard to say because at that point it's just a lot of speculation.
Yeah.
At that point, because that's definitely getting into territory that, I mean, there could be so many answers to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't have like a particular fondness for like that is so great for things that were made in the past, or think that like some of those design decisions would necessarily be preferable to things that we have in like this version of events. If
Right.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I think they've been fine, so I don't really have an opinion on that either. Like, it's hard to say because there's so many variables. Like you said, we don't know who would have stayed, who would have left. Like, we don't know. So it's hard. I don't know.
Yeah.
One thing I'd really be interested in seeing is how Square would have taken 14 and done what they would have done with it. I mean, we've seen what Yoshi P has done with it. So would he still have been in that role, or would it have been someone else? And if so, what would just been another carbon copy of 11 or something else?
Yeah.
And, well, the funny thing is, we had that. The 1.0 version was just 11 again, so we kind of do know what it would have been like.
And it was not good.
It was not good,
No.
but it had a really great running animation. That's basically it. That's the peak. That's basically it. It had a really cool running animation. Really detailed flower pops.
Oh yeah. But yeah, like, again, hard to say really on what they would do. So it's basically just going into what if territory. And then this one's from Kevin the Time Geek. What are your thoughts on Live Alive? I think it's an underappreciated classic of Square Enix, and I'm delighted that the HD 2D version came to the West. I 100% agree. I played that game. I loved it. Like, because that was a game I've had a friend of mine, like, I was having a discussion years ago, like in 2021. I mentioned something about, like, hearing about, like, Japanese Square games that never got localized, and I talked about Live Alive, and he mentioned something about that's never coming out here, like, that there was no chance. Then, like, there was a Nintendo Direct in 2022 that revealed Live Alive getting a remake and releasing in the United States for the first time, and I popped off for that. Like, then when I finally played it, I loved it. It's now one of my favorite RPGs. Like, Live Alive is so good. I think that, if anything, it makes me want some of Square's RPGs that never made it over here to finally come out here. Like, so that they can get a new life. And more people can get to experience it. Because the composer for that game is the same composer for Super Mario RPG and also the Kingdom Hearts series, Yoko Shimomura. Because that was her first project from Square after leaving Capcom, because she used to work for Capcom and she was famous for Street Fighter 2's OST. So she left Capcom because Capcom was more focused on action games, but she wanted to work on, like, adventure RPG games. So she didn't really stay for Breath of Fire, but she worked on Live Alive as her first game with Square. That soundtrack's amazing, by the way.
Yeah, I was gonna say Megalomania and Go-Go Steel Titan, two of my favorites.
Yeah.
And Go-Go Steel Titan, I'm a Super Sentai and Kamen Rider fan. I just get the vibes off that immediately. I'm like, yes.
Yeah, and Megalomania, that track inspired the track Megalovania from Undertale, because Toby Fox is a fan of Live Alive. Like, he played the Super Famicom game, like, fan translated. And yeah, fantastic game. What do you all think about Live Alive?
I haven't played it yet. I did pick up a copy of the HD 2D somewhat recently, so it's on a short list of games I want to get to. I've heard a lot of good.
Yep.
It's definitely on my playlist, but I cannot comment because I haven't played it yet.
I highly recommend it. Yeah, it's a huge recommend for me. That's that much I'll say. If you like Octopath Traveler, if you like Chrono Trigger, you will like Live Alive. Next one is from No for the Artist. What's your favorite piece of music from Final Fantasy VII and why? That's a tough one.
Can I cheat and say Under the Apple Tree from the I'm totally blanking on the prequel game.
Crisis Core.
I'm from Crisis Core, thank you.
I'm also going to go with Crisis Core, and I'm going to say why. Final song.
Yep.
Oh, man. There's too many good ones. I feel like Bombing Mission's a really good one. Like it's not like the opening, like one of the opening songs.
Yep.
I mean, we could also One Winged Angel, especially the metal version, is super good.
Oh yeah. Let's see. What about you, Durgan?
For me, I'm blanking on the name at the moment, but for sure it's the it comes from Crisis Core, because I mean everyone is going to end up saying like One Winged Angel or the battle theme or something, but for me the most impactful music is the music that plays when Genesis is reciting Loveless from Crisis Core.
That's a good one.
I have a few, and I'm going to take my shades off for this one. All right, so
that's when you know it's getting real serious.
yeah,
Serious time. Yep.
There we
okay.
go.
Well, one of my favorite battle themes in the game is the boss battle theme, where it goes. I just love the opening riff. Though I have it mainly ingrained in my mind thanks to Smash Brothers, because for a while it was just 2 tracks before they got Sephiroth when they added more tracks to the game. Genova fight was good, like I love that one. But one of my favorites is like, it's the one where you're riding that bike. I forgot the name of the track, but it's the one where you're just riding the bike. Like, I also.
Are you talking about in the mini game where you're fighting like the Shinra soldiers?
Yeah, that one. Okay. One. And I also happen to like the main theme. I love that.
Yeah, that is a very good theme.
Yeah. And I will say One Wing Angel's really good, but to be honest, One Wing Angel's got nothing on Dancing Man.
That is true.
I will actually agree with you on that one.
Or like a Battle on the Big Bridge, also.
On the Big Bridges.
Yes. Gotta give a shout out.
That's my favorite Final Fantasy song.
Man with the machine gun.
How did I go like a discussion on like Square Enix and I completely forgot about Theater Rhythm?
Oh, I love Theater Rhythm.
Bring that up.
I forgot to bring that up. Like, yo, I love Theater Rhythm.
It's amazing.
Oh my god.
Everything I wanted
Caitlin is on the money with that one. The battle with Seymour in 10, that music. Whoo, boy.
Melodies of Life with the Japanese vocals.
Yes. It's easily like, because it opened me up to some more Final Fantasy music. And I've listened to OSTs of Final Fantasy games before I actually even played them or beat them.
The Hymn of the Faith, like, always gets stuck in my head from 10. It just, like, lives in my head from all those hours in the temples.
Yeah, absolutely.
This fucking puzzle!
I gotta say, if you mention 10, special shout out to A Fleeting Dream, the song that plays in the final zone, and it never stops. It just goes straight through the battles and walking through the area, and it's just like a march forward where everything has happened and you still choose to finish the fight, and it's perfect. It's emotionally devastating.
And Noble Boy also brings up a good point too with the Final Fantasy IV theme against Zeromus.
Yep.
Oh, and the remake of Zeromus's theme for 14, not really my genre, but it is an absolute all-time banger.
That thing slaps.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, when I went to the Distant Worlds in Chicago, I got to hear Hymn of the Faith. It was just released by them, so that was amazing. Final Fantasy VI Opera and Dancing Mad, and Dancing Mad played on their pipe organ made the room shake. I was like, perfect. And you also got to hear Uematsu play Dark World.
I really want to catch a Distant Worlds. I did go to the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth concert when it came through, but and that was amazing because it had like scenes from the game and stuff in the background, and like chills.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah. I wanted to go to Distant Worlds last year, but I went to the Sonic the Hedgehog concert, so I couldn't really afford 2 concerts. But the Sonic concert was the one that my friends really wanted to go to. But I would have went
also first choice.
Yes. But the next time I am able to afford a Distant Worlds and they come to New York City, I'm going. I have to. I just have to go. I'll make it happen. Next one is for Noble Boy. Which character fits as the company's mascot that's not Dragon Quest Slime or Final Fantasy Chocobo? Moogle. Moogle.
Yeah.
Moogle. And I feel like they know that.
Moogle.
I feel like they're aware of it.
They have a lot of mascot
100% a
characters.
Moogle.
Yeah.
You know what? Like mascot style character, I think needs to be in more games. The the Moombas or whatever, the little lion guys from 8, they need to be in more games. Like I love them.
They're very cute.
I would personally want more Tonberries and Cactars.
Yeah.
I love me a good Tonberry.
I did think about answering this with Tonberry, yeah, but Moogle seemed like it was the obvious choice.
Yeah.
Like, one of my best friends had cosplayed as a Tonberry in the past. And he fucking nailed it so hard. Like, he hasn't done it in a long time, but he's done it, and he looks amazing with it. Though he hasn't been cosplaying lately ever since he got married and now has a son. But if he ever gets back into it, I would love to see him do Tonberry again.
It's true. Children do ruin things. That's true.
I mean, I will say I 100% think that the two marquee creatures of the Final Fantasy universe are the Chocobo and the Moogle.
Yeah.
And they're enough of a marquee that I legitimately have a tattoo of them. So
I would love to get Final Fantasy related tattoos, but if I did, I'll say this right now. I would probably want to get a tattoo of a Chibi Terra doing the elbow drop. It's a wrestling theme. Like her doing an elbow drop on Kefka while Kefka is just lying down in the ring. But then again, at the same time, what about Saban suplexing a fucking train?
that's the classic, right?
Which when I did my playthrough of Final Fantasy VI, I forgot to do that, and I am mad at myself for not doing it.
Yeah, you have to delete.
You have to start over. You have to suplex the train.
You do the suplex and then you Phoenix down it. Like
I'll more likely just do a Pixel remaster run of it since I already did the Super Nintendo. So I'll just do the Pixel remaster, and that's where I'm going to do the suplex. Yeah. The last question is from Cutie Caitlin. What style of game or genre would you like for the next Final Fantasy game? Bonus points for art style, description, and staff. What style of game? Like, I actually need to think about what I want for Final Fantasy 17. It would be different from what we've been getting from Final Fantasy these past couple of years, but Final Fantasy 17. What do I want?
I'm fine with the more action focus, but I do want more RPG elements than 16 had. I would 100% be down for some kind of spin on the active but ATB from the 7 like remake series. If they developed that more, I think that's a really fun combat system for like action. But I'd also be fine if they went back to turn-based or some other kind of hybrid.
Yeah.
I would kind of like to see, well, I was going to say I would kind of like to see them do something that's more like a solo character focused action game, almost in the vein of like what I believe Vagrant Story was like, even though I haven't played it, but something akin to more of like an adventuring Dark Souls, Sekiro type game. But that kind of was 16. So I just want them to do that better. Stop pretending that we have a party, do it better, and give me more RPG elements like stats that I can increase or meaningful decisions to my equipment.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was like one of the big fall-offs for me with 16. Like I like 16 fine, but the equipment was just like, okay, I'm just equipping the better sword. Like there's not really elemental damage. Like there's a lot of like misses. Like the combat was fine, but I felt like there was a lot of like missing elements for like the RPG side of it.
Yeah, once you realize that you can just perfect dodge literally everything, that's it.
Yeah.
You figured out the whole game. Congratulations.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Like, Final Fantasy 17, what I wanted to be. Like, personally speaking, they could, I was thinking they could probably do turn-based, but it has to be different. Like, why not make it so that, like, because I recently played through Pokemon Legends ZA. Like, what if, like, they did something like that for Final Fantasy? But, you have more control over, like, over how can I say it? Like, I'm trying to think. Do you have more control over, like, the fight rather than how, like, everything is completely active and all that? But I don't know. That's what I was thinking.
I would be more inclined to have Final Fantasy 17 more kind of modeled in the way that Expedition 33 is over Legend ZA. I haven't fully beaten Expedition 33 yet, but the amount of time that I've put into the game thus far, I think it's probably the most unique battle system I've seen in a long time. The only battle system that I can vividly remember where it actually makes you kind of pay attention to the enemy's movements is if you go all the way back to PS1 with Legend of the Dragoon, when you basically were active during the actual combat to either do more combos with your weapons, etc., etc. Personally, I did not find ZA to be very engaging. Like it was definitely a different battle system from what Pokemon's used to, but in terms of everything, it still doesn't feel like they're actually putting in full effort into their games yet.
Yeah.
I've seen people play the game, beat it, and then immediately go back to playing Digimon Time Stranger, which I played the absolute crap out of. I loved Time Stranger.
Nice.
So it's just I feel like they need to do something different. I feel with the gaming landscape as it is right now, there are going to be more games that are active fighting based, like we got in 16 or like we got in Final Fantasy 7 Remake. I'm pretty sure it's going to be very, very strange to see games start to go back to turn-based as what it was in like Final Fantasy 10 type era.
Oh yeah. Like, but yeah, I definitely would like to see a change for Final Fantasy. Like to see I would like for them to make it feel a lot more like an RPG. But that's just me. Like I enjoy character action games like Devil May Cry and Bayonetta, but if I want to play those are the games I would play.
Agreed.
Yeah. But overall, that was good. All right. Since we did get rated, I do want to ask you guys one last question.
Oh, yeah.
So, do you all think that Square made the right decision to release Final Fantasy VII on PlayStation instead of Nintendo 64? Because I think so.
It definitely brought a lot more press, in my opinion, to the PlayStation and probably helped with the console's actual sell because of how loved 7 was. I mean, they had to split Final Fantasy 7 into what, 4 discs on the PlayStation 1?
It's 3.
It was 3?
Yeah.
7 is 3. Yeah.
So it's, if you think about it, there's no way they could have fit a game of that size on an N64 cartridge. There's no way.
No way.
Yeah.
Impossible.
Not with those graphics and not with the amount of stuff that you could do in that game. There was no way.
Oh yeah.
You'd lose so much of the music and the videos. It would be compressed to hell. No, it wouldn't have worked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the problem was also that like they could not render certain monsters the way that they wanted to if they would have had it on a cartridge. Because if the 64 would have been CD based, there would have been no problem. Because the reason that Nintendo stuck to cartridges is because after like the whole debacle between them and Sony that led to Sony going on their own, though Sony did go to Sega first before Sega of Japan rejecting them. Thus the PlayStation being its own thing and kicking both Nintendo and Sega's asses that generation. But Final Fantasy VII was what sealed the deal. Like because here's my thing. I probably would never have bought a PlayStation if it wasn't for hearing about Final Fantasy making the jump to PlayStation. I would have never have bought a PlayStation because I thought that PlayStation 1 was going to go the same way as the Atari Jaguar and the 3DO. Because those two consoles were like higher end than the Super Nintendo and the Genesis, and both of them had failed. And I thought that the PlayStation was going to fail. I completely underestimated the PlayStation. And Final Fantasy VII was what proved like that the PlayStation was here to stay. And here we are. Sony is on their 5th console. Now there's talks about a PlayStation 6 down the road, which still too early for that, to be honest. But Final Fantasy is what kept PlayStation going for a while. And still going.
Yeah.
There's so
many iconic series on the PlayStation.
Yeah. Like they went back to Nintendo. Like Square went back to Nintendo like with the GameCube, but they only released Crystal Chronicles.
Yeah.
Which I have not played the remake. I don't want to play the remake.
It's basically the same. It just isn't as good to play with your friends.
Like the
point of playing the game.
it's like now Square is a multi-platform company. Like I remember when Square announced that Final Fantasy 13 was going to be ported to the 360.
It was a big deal.
That was a big deal. Like, because the thing is, the PS3 was still expensive, and the 360 was cheaper, played the same games, so it helped Xbox for a while. But, yeah. So Square's doing good. Square, they're not perfect, but they're doing a lot better now. And I really hope that we continue to get amazing games from them moving forward. That's all I can really hope for. So yeah. That is going to do it for this episode sharing with Shellshock. And I have to thank all 4 of you for being a part of this. It was a lot of fun.
It was a good time.
Always
As
fun.
always.
Appreciate the invitation.
Yep. So
Thank you.
Yep. So before we wrap things up, Bookslap, where can we find you?
You can find me on twitch.tv/Bookslap. I am streaming Tuesday nights, a co-op stream with twitch.tv/Andy Bundy on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9 p.m. and then Sunday mornings, like today,
Yep.
at about 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. Those are my usual stream times. Yeah, so you can find me there.
Sounds good. All right. What about you, Durgan?
I'm currently taking a little bit of a break to make sure I'm getting some adulting things done that are a little bit more important.
Yep.
But most of the time I stream on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and usually every other Thursday because I have a D&D group that meets every other week. But yeah, pretty much I just kind of stream whenever I have the ability to, with my job and everything sucking up a majority of my life.
Yep. Rod, where can we find you?
Twitch.tv/Rodzilla101. I am currently on a break trying to get everything set up on the house and the computer and everything like that. As soon as that's up and running, I'm going to be back up streaming Final Fantasy 14, World of Warcraft, RPGs, all kinds.
Awesome. And McPatches, where can we find you?
On Twitch. I'm also active on Blue Sky. As far as Twitch goes, I stream Monday, Wednesdays, and Thursday nights, and then Sunday I stream during the day. I'm currently finishing up Alien Isolation, and then I'll be back to playing like more RPGs and stuff, starting with Star Ocean 2.
Awesome. And you could definitely find me pretty much. I'm mainly on Discord and Blue Sky, but when it comes to streams on Twitch, with YouTube as where I post my VODs on my VOD channel. My main channel is mostly reactions and also the podcasts. I usually stream Monday through Thursdays from 7 or 8 p.m. Eastern at the earliest till midnight, with the occasional Friday and Sunday streams. So next week's episode, Share with Shellshock, we're going to be talking about TV shows from our childhood. And joining me for that one will be Tyler Golemo, 94. I'll have Steven Swan. I'll have Kyle Gamer. And I will also have Corshal Valet. All four of them will be joining me to talk about like TV shows from our respective childhoods. So that's going to be next week. Looking forward to that as well. All right. So once again, Bookslap, Durgan, Rod, McPatches, thank you all so much for being a part of this podcast. I really appreciate you guys being here talking about Square Enix.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Absolutely.
Thanks for the invite.
A good time.
No problem. And I would love to have all of you on again as always.
For sure.
We'll figure everything out for the future. But until then, make sure to take care of yourselves. Be awesome. Stay awesome. Tell your lovers you love them. Check out them as always. May you all fight for everlasting peace. And I'll see you guys next time. And y'all have a great night, everybody. Take care.
Bye.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Good night.
Thanks for watching Sharing with Shellshock Season 4. Your name will be inscribed in the pages of podcast history.